What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Back from Oklahoma. I don't know, I guess I'm stoked to be back, but I had a really good time while I was out there. And again, shout out to Tommy for all the hospitality, for all the food and all the drinks, let me rip his cars around, and it was fun. But on to new things right now. So what we have here is an MR2. So I don't really mess with these much. I've only, I think, worked on one, and that was with Chris Carey, if you guys remember him. He had the black one. But this guy ain't so much Toyota no more. Got this big old K20 in here with a big old spoolie boy. So, nice precision ball bearing. But what he needs done is he needs the dump pipe, he needs the down pipe, and he needs the water to air intercooler mounted, and he also needs the charge pipe set up. So that's what we're going to be trying to do. So it's a pretty tight fit in here. The turbo is loosened up so we can clock it, but he's really wanted to go through the firewall. You know, I don't even know which one is his drain, because I feel like if the drain is the one that I'm looking at right up here, then this might be an issue for him. But he also needs, like I said, the exhaust stuff done. The exhaust stuff, he had dropped the car off to somebody else, and they didn't touch it for weeks, and I don't know if they prepped the material or if he already had material prepped or where he got the material, but the material is already pretty much almost ready. I mean, this piece is going to attach to the piece that's already on the turbo for the exhaust, and then I just got to find a way to kick it out right here because he wants just a normal style bumper exit and then a little turn down tip, make it look kind of nice, like a normal-ish muffler. And then the dump tube, he's running a big old thick 2-inch one, and it's got the V-bend. It's one of those nice tile ones, so that should be pretty simple. I just gotta, actually that might even just work as is. He did want to tie it in to the exhaust, but after looking at it, this is all we have to work with. And he doesn't have one of those little waist, or it looks like a little accordion. It's a flex pipe, but they usually use those style on like manifolds and dump tubes and stuff. He doesn't have one. Nobody sells them local, that much I do know, and they're he's kind of in a time crunch because he's trying to get racing with this thing. So we're just going to work with what we got. So instead of tying it in, we're just going to shoot the dump tube down at the bottom, and if he's going to change that later, that's entirely up to him. We're just gonna get started. So first thing I'm gonna do is just start working on this exhaust stuff, and then I gotta try and find a place to buy a 3-inch hole saw so I can cut some holes in this firewall thing, or this trunk firewall for the intercooler pipe. So trying to mock it up, I'm gonna have to cut right off the bend because I need to angle the exhaust more towards the passenger side, because this one kind of kicks out diagonal, and it's gonna be kind of difficult to get a straight shot after that to the part of the bumper where he wants it to exit, which is the factory spot right over there. So go, I think I have a few sections of 3-inch pipe, but it's only mild steel, not stainless, and I think this is stainless. But he said he's not concerned about the looks, so I'll take it where I can take it, and then I'm gonna have to make it where I have to make it. Well, we just ran into our first issue. Went to take it off because I had marked up my thing, and he had mentioned that the clamp might be stripped. The guy that put it on last said it was feeling like it was stripped, and he was right. So it is stripped, but I got it off. I got this piece marked up somewhere, yeah, my Sharpie mark right there, so I can at least tack that together. Probably go ahead and weld this flange on. Only thing I'm not liking is this is the wrong size pipe for this flange, so I have to get the weld perfectly around this edge there on this seam here. If it goes any far over, then the clamp isn't going to seal right, and I'll have to like file it down and stuff. So I am going to take this on for sure. I'll take this section just without a back purge, just because I don't have one, and it'll be totally fine though. But yeah, this is actually 2.5-inch pipe. I thought it was 3-inch, so 2.5. I do have some 2.5 stainless left, so I can actually go ahead and make some pie cuts, and at least should be able to do it just fine, make the whole thing out of stainless. This is higher quality stainless than the stuff I have, but it'll work. Well, I'm waiting on him to text me back about the V-band clamp. I'm going to start working on the freaking dump tube. Except I'm really limited on material. I have this little piece and I have this little piece. So I went ahead and tacked this on because I already tried using that piece. There's just pretty much nowhere to put this. So let me show you what we got under here. So we got right here to work with. Dump tube or downpipe kind of comes right about here. So I have pretty much right here to work with. So I gotta try and get this pipe to somewhat shoot out somewhere like right there, because that's about all I can do for the material provided, but it'll work nonetheless. So that's what we gonna do. We gonna make it work. I just gotta go up top there, get this thing to freaking stay on there because the thing is a little too heavy now. Oh, look at that, nice tight flange fit. That's what I like. It's a good V-bend on this one. You did good, Tile. But yeah, so now you can kind of see I gotta move this just right down here. So I think we can probably get away with, I don't know, you know what, I might have to make a pie or two out of this straight section. Alright, so I got the first part of the dump tube tacked. I'm gonna go tack this piece so I can get this angled and go from there. Tacked up. I think one more piece of angle that I have over here on the floor, I should be able to mock this, tack the other piece, and then after that I should be able to start finishing up the dump tube, which will be really simple. I just gotta, like I said, figure out which way to clock it. Such a tight space. Okay, so that should be pretty much sitting there. Tack round 2. Just got some more material, just normal exhaust pipe from AutoZone. I just need to bring this piece out right here, just a couple inches, just so I can kick this other section, if I can fit my arm up there. So that way it'll kick this other section down like that. And then that'll pretty much be it. Nothing else I can really do with just this, but that's totally fine. And then he's gonna heat wrap it, and then I gotta try and loosen these bolts up or figure out exactly clock the center of this turbo here, the CHRA. And then I went and bought a hole saw bit so we can get some holes drilled to get the freaking, the charge piping in there. But downpipe is almost done. Gotta wait till tomorrow to go get the V-band for this. I'm gonna take one of mine off of one of my cars, I think, and see if they fit. If not, then just wait till tomorrow. But I can't really finish the downpipe until I get a V-band, so that way I can hold the actual pipe like bolted in place so I can make the rest of it. Because this is what I have so far, and I can only get so far with that. So I think I'm gonna at least finish welding this up to save myself that much time tomorrow, and then just work on that last section right there. But for now, let's trim a few inches off of this. So I just tacked it up like that, and because it's tapered in there, this is a 2.5 or 2 1/4 inch inner diameter pipe, so it's a little bit smaller, so it's going to slide right into the other pipe, which makes it really easy for me to weld. So I marked it right there, marked it on this piece, and let me try and do it like that. And you can see it just slides right over. A little loose because, like I said, this is 2 1/4 outer, this is 2 1/4 inner, but it'll work just fine. I'm just going to MIG this section though, because there's no sense in wasting my time TIGging it when it's just really crappy AutoZone pipe and then nice stainless. So he did say this is getting heat wrapped, so it's not a big deal. And again, like I said, he told me it's not a show car, he just needs it to work, and this will definitely work. Can't wait to have a shot. I'm sick of walking all the way back here and all the way up there and all the way back here. Can't wait to where I can just turn around, crawl under the car that's on the lift, get my measurement, turn around, go to my welding table, and have it be right there. Hopefully soon. Hopefully freaking soon. Okay, so this is pretty darn simple. Maybe if my hat was out of the way, keep smacking it. Just like that. And this is pretty much just gonna have to be what the dump tube is like for now. But this makes it past the subframe, goes in between all that, so it'll clear, everything will be fine. I am gonna take the flange on because it looks nice, but yeah, the rest of this 2 bead, I'm gonna just make it real quick. Just get this knocked out of the way. Got it all welded up, came out pretty nice. I'm getting much more confident in my TIG welds on like gaps and stuff because it was a little loose inside that flange, but it came out looking pretty good down there. I know you probably can't see it too well, but I'm gonna bolt this up. So I ran into a little bit of a clearance issue. I don't know if you can really see, yeah, you definitely can't see it from the top. I did get the turbo clocked. I was able to just rotate the center section. I just had to loosen all the bolts and hold the cold side and rotate it with the other hand on this one. But with the downpipe or the dump tube, now that that's on, it made a little bit of a clearance issue with this, so the current thing does not fit. So I gotta cut this off, and what I'm gonna do is make some pie cuts and get this one to get a tighter bend around it and then go from there. So it's gonna take a while because this is all stainless piping. So I'm gonna go cut some crap and I'll be back. Judging my face and all the, yeah, this thing's been kicking my ass, for real. I had the downpipe done, or the dump tube done, just to find out that it doesn't clear the axle because there's no axle in the car, so I totally forgot that the axles were even supposed to be in here. Whatever reason, I thought they went on the front because I thought it sat like a normal K-series. So I had to rip it apart. There's no oil filter on it either, so I didn't even know if it clearance sat, so I did, yeah, just dismantle it. Now I'm remaking it from scratch. It's being a pain in the ass, and I'm also trying to do the downpipe at the same time. There's just no easy way to do this. There's not enough room. And this is way too big of a wastegate dump for, I think, the whole setup, because it's almost as big as the exhaust, which isn't very big, but for a dump tube, that's huge. 2.5 inch exhaust, 2 1/4 dump tube. I don't know, I feel like this exhaust is really going to be choking it. But I got the downpipe at least halfway made. The last part of it that I'm working with here should be pretty easy, but I don't want to finish that until I at least get the dump tube routed where I want. So let me show you kind of what I'm doing. I have to use this piece as like an inner, in the middle extension, but kind of like that. So trying to get the dump tube to run under right here. Because I tried going over, that's not going to work. Before I tried kicking it back by the pan, just straight down, and it was in the way. So it has to come at least like right here, and then I have to move the exhaust over. But it's just so hard. There's no room. You can't work from the top because this is your view from the top. So it's bad news bears. This is just really frustrating. But we'll get it done. It's not going to look as pretty as I wish it would. Just because I'm having to use normal mild steel from the parts store instead of like all stainless. So, but I'm working with what I have. So I'm calling it a night. I got the downpipe or the dump tube done. That's as far as I can get it to come right here. So that's, yeah, I already texted him. He said he's okay with it. It's just gonna have to be like that for a bit. So tomorrow morning I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna be able to finish the dump tube or stupid downpipe. I don't know why I'm getting those mixed up. So next day, got the clamp that we needed. This should be the right one. I took it down there with me, not the turbo. I took the downpipe down that had the other side of the flange, and this fit it, but hopefully it tightens down enough. If it doesn't, then I'll have to go back, and they said they'll swap it out for me, but it should work. So now I'm gonna go ahead and bolt this downpipe back up, and then I can try and finish this up. Like I said, the dump tube is done. That's as much as I can do with it because of the confinement and the material provided or whatever. So next up is this, and then once this is done, it shouldn't take me too long. Then I can start doing the intercooler setup, which I think will be a little fun. But yeah, let's finish this downpipe, eh? This is more or less what I was able to come up with. Comes off the turbo there, comes back out here. I'm cutting some pie so I can make a little turn down lobster tail type tip. But yeah, so I'm gonna just throw you guys up on time lapse. We'll get this welded up. I'm gonna try and TIG as much of it as I can. Obviously the bigger gap stuff like this one weld right there, I'm gonna have to MIG that. But the rest of it I should be able to TIG, make it look nice. On the end, so that way it has a nice little turn down to it. That'd be good. That was a lot of TIG welding. That's, yeah, a lot. I think most of it came out pretty darn good. I just wish I could have back purged it. Like, I can't wait to get a back purge set up and like have the time to sit down and really make some really nice welds. This thing's probably pretty loud. I'll show you guys out there. All right, there we go. Got the little turn down tip made up. This thing's all ready. I'm gonna go bolt this thing up. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked on this, to be honest. It looks pretty good. Comes out almost perfectly centered. It's just a hair to the left right here, but almost totally centered. You really can't even tell because the pipe diameter fills up most of this, but it looks really good. I'm pretty stoked on it. Hopefully he is too. This thing's nice and sturdy on there. I do want to add a hanger. I just don't have any hanger material. There's one little spot right here. So I just text him and just let him know, like whenever he goes to the dyno, just before he goes and actually beats on the car, to just swing by somebody and just have him tack on a hanger really quick. But other than that, it's on there. And the clamp's not even tightened down all the way, so this is gonna be nice. I'm pretty happy with how the turn down tip came out too. Car's back on the ground. Now I gotta start working on the turbo piping setup. So I got to drill a hole somewhere in this general area to feed the coupler to the turbo. I already clocked the CHRA, I think I already said that. And then drill another hole somewhere around here and try and shoot some piping up to there. So realistically, I think I should only have to do like 1 or 2 aluminum joint welds, which will be nice because aluminum is just tricky. I've been having issues with it. Ow, this thing. I'm gonna grab glasses because that's flinging. Got these all welded up. This one actually welded a little bit easier than I anticipated, which is good. I'm really thankful for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill the hole out really quick. That'll take 2 seconds. And then I can hog this hole out a little bit more. And that's good. Then I'm just, like I said, waiting on that coupler. Bada boom, bada bing. I'm gonna drill this hole saw hole real quick, and then it'd be really, really convenient if I could actually get a coupler that's long enough to just go from there to there. But I don't think that's probably possible, so I'm probably gonna have to end up extending this, which butt joints on aluminum is a pain for me. So this is what I was able to find. I had this little extra section that had a bend going that way off of my Miata, but it'll work just fine because it's got the slightly angled bit I need on this end. So I'm gonna just grab some tape real quick. I already cleaned up my parts, brushed them and all that. Tape together, lay some tacks, and go ahead and weld it. Good to go. All I really had in mind for this is making just a little table-like thing, because I had it resting on the brick, and I was like, yeah, you know what, something like the brick would be pretty simple. So I'm just using some flat stock that already has these holes. I just got it at Home Depot, and I just trimmed it. Now I'm going to go ahead and just weld a bead across the back and the front side. It's already bolted on this side. This is the thread that's damaged and just eats bolts. So I'm going to have to try and do the same thing on this side, and then I'm going to just send that one home. And then I'm just going to make a couple little legs in the corner and just bolt it straight down to the trunk. Pretty simple. Finish this thing up. I think this is about as creative as I can get with this. The legs are supported, obviously, and then I just actually had these extra metal tabs, so I just trimmed them up. And that way I didn't have to drill any holes, because all my drill bits are totally dull. But yeah, this is definitely nice and firm. It's not super heavy. I mean, it's not much heavier than the intercooler itself is. So I think the whole frame probably weighs 3 pounds, but I think it came out pretty good. Welded across there, so that way when he needs to unbolt it, totally doable, and should absorb all the shock. So all he has to do is drill the 4 holes in and just bolt it. I don't have any bolts to supply him with. So this is about as far as I go. This thing's all bolted in. Well, I mean, not bolted in, but it's plumbed up. I just told him that he's gonna have to get his bolts and just drill the 4 holes. Super easy for him. But it's plumbed up to the turbo. So the firewall's there. He'll probably have to take a file to this, or maybe put some hose on it just so the coupler doesn't tear. But then I got the joint running through here, and then that's for his IAT, blow off valve, and then yeah, he just needs his clamps or whatever, and this is all good to go. But on that note, I'm gonna end this video off here. Got everything done that we needed to get done. Hopefully the guy likes it. Hopefully I didn't totally butcher it. But if you guys know the video, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. If you're new to the channel, hopefully you've considered subscribing. I still got a bunch of Miata stickers, so if you guys want to pick up those, pick up the Miata stickers. I also do have a Patreon, so if you want to help support the channel, go sign up for the Patreon, get extra behind the scenes stuff and occasional giveaways. I also have a CRX EF brace available and a DA brace right now, and I won't be making anything else other than maybe EK ones until those ones sell, because I use those to set aside funds for extra material and stuff. So need those ones gone, guys. Hit them up. Hit me up. Get them. Anyways, guys, do what you love. Think about the rest. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.